Hey, beautiful souls. Welcome back to my channel. My name's Zastara and I'm an angelic communicator and clairvoyant. And today's message, we're going to be deep diving into something that many of us experience, which is also happening on the path of awakening and usually showing when we're at awakening points, meaning that we're about to kind of ascend a little bit more, about to move into a higher vibration. And this is often, yeah, it can be quite hard, I think, this, because what I'm going to be talking about is the ebb and flow of people who enter and exit our lives at these points. So, if you've ever felt like your friends and family, or even like your soul connections, suddenly begin to drift away, and you kind of wonder, well, why are certain people no longer resonating with me? Or why is this, why am I suddenly alone? And I've done like loads of healing work, I've done loads of inner work, and suddenly nobody wants to be with me. Then I just want you to know that you're not doing anything wrong. And in the kind of law of ascending spirals and hiring our vibration, ascending up to a higher vibration, this is actually quite a normal event. Because what's actually happening is your frequency is shifting. And because vibration and resonance is a universal law, like everything in the universe is vibration, you're a vibration, you're probably made up of many different vibrations that creates a coherence to a certain vibration, that as your consciousness expands, so does your frequency. So I'm just putting my crystal between me and the computer because I can feel the computer energy on me. So when you begin to align more deeply with your own truth and your own values, and even aligning to your higher purpose, then it's very natural for people who are not in that resonance to suddenly fall away. And we're all going around with a certain vibration, and usually that's a mixture of vibrations that creates a coherence in our field. So, what I mean by that is you might have a lot of higher vibration in your field, but then you might also carry some density, some denser vibrations that are to do with loss or grief or ancestral lines. And once you clear those out of your system through deep inner work and shadow work and looking after yourself, and that once that vibration changes, then whoever was connecting with you on a particular vibration, where like attracts like, will suddenly not be able to stay there anymore. And this usually happens when your older vibrations are releasing so that you shift up into a coherent vibration that is much higher. So, older vibrations, people you've had connections with, old friends, family members, sometimes workplaces, people that you've really enjoyed being with in the past, you'll notice they will begin to drift away. Sometimes there is a severing or quite a strong rejection of people who are changing, depending on the person you're dealing with. But I just want to say this isn't really a rejection of you as a person. It's just a very simple resonance recalibration. So what's actually happening is those people are making space for the next wave. And when someone feels completely like they're leaving your life, it's often spirit saying to you, you've completed that chapter with that person, you've learned that lesson, now make space, or your soul contract with that person has now been completed. And if you have another soul contract, they will come back around again. If they can change their vibration to match yours, they will come back around again. And we are in a very dynamic, flowing universe where anything is possible. So sometimes it may feel like loss, it might feel like you're losing something, but actually you're making space. And the letting go can be painful, especially if you've loved them deeply, or you've shared laughter, or you just felt like a deep sense of connection with them. But that soul departure, where they're going, often it's better just to be in gratefulness, to let them go gently, and wait for the next wave of soul aligned beings. And often there is a space where you might feel like you're on your own, maybe for a month or two, maybe longer. But just know that in that space, you're actually preparing yourself. You're preparing yourself for the next wave of soul aligned beings coming into your life, your next wave of soul tribes, soul contracts. And these are going to be people who can see you and match your evolutionary vibration, and they don't feel threatened by your light, but hopefully you can begin to amplify it with you, because you are not meant to shrink. You are not meant to stay static. You are not meant to stay fixed. You're meant to grow and expand and find your soul tribe and trust that that soul tribe, that new community is actually coming in and will mirror you and your coherence. And I would say on a personal level, this has definitely happened to me, that every time I've said goodbye to one community or one tribe, I've been met with a higher vibration, a higher match every single time. So when your frequency rises, it can be like a beautiful light beam that's illuminating all the shadows of the people around you. And some people are just not ready to see that. And you might have a little bit of repulsion going on where they pull away from you or judge you or disappear. But don't take this personally. They're simply protecting their current identity, their current resonance, and that's okay. They're basically choosing where they're comfortable to be, choosing where they're comfortable. Because for them to move to your new vibration may be very uncomfortable for them, because it will take a lot of energy to work through the things that are holding them back. So it's really important to know that you're not here to rescue anyone. We can help people, we can offer healing, we can be loving, we can be kind, but actually it's really important to be aware that you can't take this in a way that to rescue them. So don't take it personally. You're here to hold your light and to walk your truth, and let that be an invitation to others. Let yourself be an embodiment of what those people that you love can also be like for themselves. So when you get to a certain point, your vibration becomes like attractive, and you don't have to chase other people to become and be your friends. Once you really get into accepting and loving yourself and feeling in contact with your soul energy, your energy field actually begins to broadcast the frequency of health, the frequency of radiance, the frequency of who you actually are. And this will attract your soul tribe. This will attract people who want to collaborate with you in a divine way, partners that align with you and your inner purpose, who you are, your soul purpose, and true friends who really honor that becoming in you because they've honored it in themselves. So this doesn't happen overnight. And this is like a sacred reordering that takes place. So it's a bit like clearing the soil before you begin planting new seeds. So if you're in that space, which is a bit like the void, then just know that you won't be there forever. You won't be there for long. And the more you can nourish yourself, look after yourself in that space, and know that everybody that's left your life is divinely, it's like protection for you as you move to the next level. So the version of you that is now saying goodbye to any friendships that may be fading, any partnerships that may be fading, then just allow it to grieve, allow that space to be held and grieved, because we don't want to be narcissistic, we don't want to cut off from our emotions and our feelings. But just know that you're not being abandoned, that you are being repositioned in a way that will help you to meet more people who are aligned with you, that you're being recalibrated. And within that empty space, there is more connection coming, a truer sense of self and who you are. So just bless the people that are leaving, because they might come back around again. You just don't know. But if they come back around again, they'll come back hopefully different. Otherwise, they'll be repelled out of your field again. That's how that works. So just know that you're growing, you're healing, you're rising. And if this message resonates with you, then just know that your soul tribe is coming. And each time you release what no longer serves you, you can then attract what does serve you and will help you as you move forward. If you like this message, then please subscribe. If you want to work with me, I'm running lots of workshops at the moment. Have a look at my Instagram and see where you can join me on a workshop. I'm doing a particularly good workshop on spiritual empaths, on protecting your energy for energy sovereignty, and that will start in September online. So come join me, and I look forward to joining you in the next video.